I believe a lot of you think that ocean contains a large amount of water and covers 71% of the Earth's surface. Ocean also plays a very important role through the fight against climate change. Before I formally introduce the project to you, let me briefly introduce the status quo. The Earth's climate has changed throughout history. Today, the trend is particularly significant. A lot of phenomena show that the climate change is becoming more serious. For example, the rise of the temperature, warming oceans, shrinking ice sheets, and sea level rise, etc. Humans must do something to slow down the process of the climate change. Now, I'm here to share you with one of the potential solutions to this problem. It is called exploring carbon storage potential under the seabed. This technique is still being developed, but must be considered as a capable part to solve this problem. So, you may have a question. Why? Why should we use this type of technique? Well, according to the NASA, the ocean will naturally absorb 1/4 of the carbon dioxide we create when we burn fossil fuels. As climate change is becoming more serious, humans must find as more possible solutions as possible to solve it. And according to the National Oceanic and Atmospherical Administration, humans' exploration to the ocean is only 5%. That means the ocean still remains largely undiscovered, and most likely we aren't using it to its full potential. Famous project group like the CCS is starting to explore how technology together with the ocean can be helped to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that we pump into the atmosphere. The SDMM-CCS is a carbon storage and capture program. That means it's able to absorb carbon dioxide. How? By capturing the harmful carbon emissions before it enters the atmosphere, then pumping it over 800 meters underground below the cap rock. A cap rock is like a rock layers that on top of the reservoirs which can trap the natural oil and gas. Here, the compressed carbon dioxide becomes a layer of the porous rock. It is placed the water there and fills in space within the rock, where it can no longer escape. At Scotland, it has already conducted, and half of their potential solutions is the pipe under the seabed. Geological seafloor and sea log sediments store 99.84% of the blue carbon, and the remaining 0.16% is stored by the biological habitats and species. As we can see, the CCS is already showing promising signs in Scotland. And with further investment, we can further apply this technique and apply it elsewhere around the world. It will take some time for us to move away from fossil fuels. Until we reach a point that we are no longer releasing the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, carbon storage and capture programs like these are our best chances to reduce the carbon dioxide. Some of you might think this sounds too good to be true. How could we store carbon dioxide so easily under the seabed? Furthermore, you might be thinking, isn't there a risk of accident? If those are what you're worrying about, then your concerns are understandable. Indeed, when carbon dioxide is stored beneath the seabed, there must be a security system to prevent accidents. Luckily, the OPTIO project group has already combined the ocean storage with other forms of environmental sea monitoring technique to create a complete warning system. This system installs the seismic nodes that allows the workers to have a comprehensive understanding of the situation under the seabed. If there is something went wrong, the workers can make some adjustment immediately and prevent accidents. So, even if it works, why pursue these options? What impact could it actually have through the fight against climate change? Well, according to the Climate News Network, the ocean storage can have a significant impact of reducing climate change. They claim, we can prevent 4 billion tons of carbon dioxide from being released into the atmosphere by 2030, and 110 billion tons of carbon dioxide by 2050 if all countries pursue the goal of ocean storage. 110 billion tons of carbon dioxide. That's 21% of the reductions required by that's 21% of the reductions required by 2050 to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, the clear outline target at Paris Climate Summit in 2015. As we can see, the data shows that it has a very significant impact of ocean storage to reduce the climate change. Although it's the government who took most of the responsibility for implementing the solutions. How can normal people like you, me, and everyone help, besides just making small changes in our lifestyle? So what can we do? Do you still remember the first part I mentioned in my speech? The carbon storage and capture program. Believe it or not, according to its report in Japan in 2014, over half of the respondents have never heard carbon capture and storage projects before. And 40% of them haven't ever heard the carbon storage technology. It seems like a majority of people don't know how serious status quo is. And just as concerning, they don't know about the most important solutions to these problems. So, the first step is to get message out. We should let more and more people have a comprehensive understanding of the situation and how carbon capture and storage programs like these are the best chances to help solving it. The social media and print media can get message out of public, as knowledge is the first step towards change. Although it's the government who have the authority to determine change, it's the will of people that influences the decisions of governments. If more and more people write comments to the government, then the government will probably publish some policies and it will help reducing climate change. It's one of the biggest efforts we can do. Although individuals like you and me can do something that will have a directly huge impact on reducing climate change, we can contribute ourselves a little bit just to make the world a nicer place. Earth can live without us, but we can't live without the Earth. Let's show those power that we care, that we are informed, and we want change today. Thank you.